Hello there, my name is PolishLynx, and this is Elisa the Innkeeper, the prequel, freshly released on Steam. And, well, let's play it. There's supposed to be a few endings, but I think we are going to get one? Probably. We'll see about it. I haven't really decided about it yet, so for now let's just begin and see what this is about. Choose your language. Italiano, well, I don't know. I really don't know that language, actually, so English. Neoclassic games. The player does not just act as protagonist, his judgment affects every character and every action, like a god that watches everything from above. Okay. Hi, I'm a prince, and I'm the protagonist of this story. They asked me to give you some details before we can start our adventure. What protagonist? If the player will decide to stay on anyone's side, it will be me. I've got a lot of money. I don't like you. Well, not really true. What a pathetic situation. Why don't you try to earn the player's respect? You got my respect for saying that. Such a shame. Hey, no one is a protagonist here. We're fighting already. Hey, what? Elisa, I know you're here. You're absolutely right. My dear Elisa, let's ignore these fools. Stay with me. I want to finish my speech. No. I think it's time for me to go. Always the same. Hey, we are here too. What are you doing? You two don't have a part in our prequel. You will need to wait for the final game to be complete. Elisa, don't go. Oh, too bad. Yeah, too bad. Because the one on the right is quite cute. The one on the left is also cute. And Elisa was also cute. Thanks for playing our game. Well, that would be it, guys, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next game, I guess. And hopefully we can continue this amazing story when the game will be released. Alright, but seriously, that's not really the end of the game. For now. Let's continue. You are about to read the adventure of the bad guys I have just introduced. Exactly. With your support, maybe we'll be able to tell you the whole story with voice acting and animations. Okay. Looking forward to it. Have fun and enjoy our prequel. Okay. The air smelled like wood, thus in the spring, and the faint scent of flowers seemed to soothe the whole room. The inn was warm, hearty. Elisa, the innkeeper, was never-endingly busy running back and forth between her clients, and if she ever stopped for a minute, it was to clean up after a client that had left. At that moment, the prince sat in front of the bar, was seemingly lost in thought, his gaze fixated on her. Damn, she's so beautiful. Every time I see her, I fall in love again, just like the first time. He whispered to himself while taking a sip from his beer. Sip from his beer? How? Sip of beer, I would understand, but from his... Never mind. The girl who up until that point was in front of him noticed that her only client was staring at her and decided to get a bit closer, leaning forward to clean up that part of the bar. Have I ever told you that I live in a castle? Pathetic. Still busy cleaning, she leaned on the bar, which was still wet. The prince could start seeing through her shirt. Oh really? You never told me, so I assume you are some kind of nobleman. Full of himself, the young man rose from his stool. I am, without a doubt, one of the most worthy between those who bear the title. Smiling, the innkeeper instinctively paused and turned to her guest, resting her head on her hands. She looked interested. Whoa. Well, nice airbags. Do you mean that you are not like the other nobles around? Whoa, you can see everything from this angle. Oh, of course not. Who do you think I am? I've seen so many nobles come and go at my inn. You're the most fascinating companion here now. The room was actually empty, aside from the two. So what do you have more than the other nobles? The prince took a deep breath. Did she really say those words? He swallowed his whole glass of beer. I own the most majestic castle in all of Florence. And what else? She's so close that I can smell her. Her scent is so sensual. I've never found such a smell. I would love to caress her, so should I try to? Maybe I should? No. Suddenly a weird feeling overwhelmed him. I believe it's time for you to wake up. What? You should wake up now. The image of the innkeeper, which at first was crystal clear and beautiful as a rose in a warm spring morning, started fading while the tone of her voice seemed to lose intensity. Such a shame. Beautiful things don't last long, indeed. The prince woke up slightly dazed. Just a dream. He felt surely disappointed as he brought a hand to his forehead and tried to stand up from his lying position. My head hurts really bad. What could I ever have done last night? He looked around and saw broken glasses, bottles, plates, which were pretty easy clues. Have I been robbed? He sluggishly muttered. Had it really been burglary? He would have been left naked, as expensive his clothes were. What could have possibly happened? I feel so sick. This room has a weird smell. The windows were closed and the drapes shut, so that sunlight barely entered the room, and despite the silence, the prince's head kept hurting really bad. The only thing I remember is how tired I was as I went to bed, but I do not recognize this place. I should be in another inn. Ouch, thinking is not helping. I think I will sleep some more. Nausea and headache are definitely not best friends when one wants to use his head. Moreover, it is really hard to give up such a nice dream. The sun had risen only a few hours ago. Why should someone suffer to wake up so early in the morning? Especially if he does not need a job to earn a living. Back to bed. Investigate. Alright. Prince. Even if you would want to go back to bed and have the dream, you wouldn't have the same dream again. That's quite a rare thing, and I don't think that would happen to you, so go and freaking investigate. The first choice. No, I can't really do this. It's impossible to go back to bed. There's a disgusting stench in here. Deeply disturbed by the smell and the filth in the room, the prince couldn't help but feel shocked at the mess inside. Usually, handing displaced item is enough to make me lose my sleep. Whatever could have happened? In truth, that wasn't really a good time to fall back asleep. Such mere lapses should really not be neglected. Maybe I'm worrying too much about it, he said to himself, trying to ignore the pulsing pain in his head and the nausea. Still, it's probably a good idea to take a look around. It would probably be a good idea to save before the choice as well, but I didn't do that. The room was pixie, hazardous, even with all the shattered plates and glasses. Moreover, some of the chairs were turned over, the fireplace was spouting ashes on the floor, and the bed sheets were on the floor as well. First of all, let's open the window. I don't think I can bear this stench without vomiting. So he opened the window and lingered there for a moment to take a deep breath of fresh air while he was thinking back to the dream he just had. I was definitely dreaming about something interesting. What was it, though? The white wet curtains the prince was leaning on reminded him of the dream he thought he'd forgotten 1 second ago. Okay. Of course, now I recall. I was dreaming about Elisa. Now that I think of it, yesterday afternoon, after speaking with the merchant, I wanted to go see her. He slowly buttoned up his vest, as he focused his thoughts on reconstructing the recent events. Now I remember. I was arguing with the merchant for the sale of my castle, when at some point we decided to walk toward the inn to wrap up the business. When everything got settled, we started drinking and then can't remember anything else. A worrying feeling of anxiety filled the mind of the young man, who kept brooding about his memory lapses about the past night. What if that blasted merchant made me sign that deal? In panic, he started rummaging around to find his clothes, which were strewn across the room. I can't see any bag filled with gold on the table. Drunk as I was, for what I remember, I could have even gifted my castle away. After a few minutes, his clothes started to pop up, scattered in every corner of the room, as if they had been hidden. It was actually quite an effort to collect them. Somehow, his gloves managed to end up in the furthest corner under the bed. Stretching as much as he could, the prince extended his hand and felt something other than his gloves. He was certain he'd heard a faint metallic sound. Maybe a coin? No, it was something different. What's this? His hope was to find some gold. However, as he moved the sheets away, the only thing he managed to see under the shadow of the bed was a silver blade. He sighed, and with some precautions, he pulled out what was by all counts a sword. What is this doing here? He asked himself while wielding the object and looking for more details. A sword. Why would a sword be in my room? The blade was completely made of silver, his hilt covered with brown cloth. It looked more like a decoration than a weapon. The prince was tense and hesitated. Alright. I believe I'll take it with me. If someone was so foolish that they left it behind, they're lost. He shrugged and smiled. He turned and immediately saw the scabbard leaning on the wall. With the state this room is in, I'm not sure I should walk down to pay. It will cost me a fortune to compensate for all this damage. I think it'd be better to just leave here a few coins and get out quickly. Calmly, he fastened his belt just right and sheathed the sword with care to avoid damaging it. Great time to go. Item unlocked. Sword. Yay! Hello? Okay. Suddenly, someone knocked at the door. Who could it be? Is it the waiter asking for money? I should really go. The knocking at the door became louder. I know you're in there. Open the door! Recognizing the merchant's voice, the prince froze. He even stopped breathing to make as little noise as he could. What the heck do I do now? I'm tired of waiting. I've got the papers to sign here. Remember the deal we made yesterday afternoon? Wait a second. If he came here to make me sign the documents, it means yesterday he wasn't able to get anything out of me. My fears were unfounded. I'm getting ready. Give me a moment to dress up. I have no time to lose waiting for you to titivate yourself. Open this damn door! The prince was busy fixing up his clothes as well as he could, trying to remember all the details of the deal he agreed upon the day before. It would have been unforgivable to appear without having an idea of how to resume the talks. What kind of impression will I give if he sees all this mess? I will never be able to clean up all this, he said, giving up. He walked up to the door. I actually thought last evening, why don't you clean up a bit before going to bed? His shame became so unbearable that the prince impulsively jumped out of the room. Here I am. Can we take a seat downstairs? I would like some privacy. Your room will be perfect for that. What is there to stay in the room when we can walk downstairs and have a drink? I don't really feel like drinking after last night. Oh, please, let's walk down. I'll offer you a round. No, I really am not feeling like it. I'm in it. Don't make me beg you. For what I care, you're free to drink all you want afterwards. Please, let's go in. I want to close this up quickly. What if I offer you lunch? Fancy steak or some cake? We could even invite a fine lady to lunch with us. What about this? What the hell are you hiding in that room? You came to the point of offering me a meal? This is so unlike you. Quit the excuses, please. Make way. The glare of the prince hearing those words became almost threatening. I'm dead serious. It is a bad idea to enter, he added, interposing himself between the door and the other person. Seeing the scene, the merchant gave up, insisting, and finally decided to listen to the prince. He turned and started walking down the stairs. Once to the bottom of the stairs, they picked a table in a less crowded corner so that they could have some quiet while they talked. Before I sign, I would like to know what happened last night. My mind is clouded. I don't remember much at all. Shh, you shouldn't have said that, he said, sitting on the stool. Very patiently, the merchant started explaining the events of last night without omitting a single detail. Last night, we came to this inn because the sun was setting, and finally, we managed to agree on the last details of our deal. So last night you did not coerce me into signing against my will, right? I wish. Last night I squandered a fortune to have him drink, but this guy sting even while drunk. Who do you think I am? I'm an honorable person in business. Very well, so where are the papers? Let's not waste any more time. Bring them out. The merchant brought out the written deal, but it was easy to tell that any kind of excitement had disappeared from his face. He certainly did not expect an easy deal, however, the unexpected hurriedness of the prince was getting to his nerves. This is the final deal we agreed on yesterday. I urge you to sign it now so I can leave this hall quickly. And I will not have to deal with you again. After a quick read, the prince grabbed the pen from his pocket, inscribing a quick and clean signature on the deal. I signed. Now give the money. Don't worry about that. The prince saw the merchant about to stow the papers away in his bag, and had a pseudonym dubbed. He swiftly grabbed the arm of the merchant, stopping him. Has he noticed? What does this part mean? Are you talking about this small variation? It's only about 50 gold coins, just a teeny detail. How could you dare modify your proposal without telling me? I saw that your castle is in need of some renovations. This calls for additional expenses. Lowering the amount I'm offering for the purchase was the very least I had to do. And you took care of not notifying me. Did you think I would nonetheless? The sum I deducted is yet another kind concession I made. For your castle I will need to spend at least double that. It requires extensive renovations. If I did not say that before, it was only to spare you more concerns. This all make me no sense. For you, perhaps. Are you really hoping that I will agree to this? I would, yes. You have little choice after all. Confront. Slip away. So, it's this type of... Oh, it works. Okay, it's the first time I believe when the saves look like that and and not used as pictures, and it actually works. So good game. What am I talking? Good job. Confront. The merchant crossed his arm and made himself more comfortable on the stool. He took a look at the prince as he was rereading a contract. He can think about it as much as he wants. I have no wish to give more concessions. Are you kidding me? He asked now, dead serious, as he put down the documents. In such business, I always am serious. 50 gold coins are no small change. I am a merchant. I know the difference between a fair deal and a rip-off. Right. You should feel honored to have such a seller as me. I am a part of the nobility after all. After we seal this deal, and after the voice gets around, you will have many more clients willing to make business with you. The merchant was not convinced by this argument at all. He sneered and replied swiftly. These are empty words. You are a prince. You were once rich. However, you, with your father, squandered away all you had. Oh, do not say one more word, for your own sake. The prince looked extremely frustrated, rage and anxiety showing on his face. The merchant, unfazed, kept talking. You need this money. I cannot see any alternative for you. If you do not take this deal now. The nobility has two defining characteristics: pride and dignity. In front of such a blatant humiliation, one of these two failed in the young prince. Blinded by rage, he jumped forward, threw down his stool, and unsheathed his sword. I told you to shut up. Are you deaf? This is not about money anymore. This is your life on the line. The merchant, one moment ago so relaxed and confident, transformed completely. He stood up shakingly as his face turned white and he raised his hands. Let us keep calm, please. There's no need for this excess. It is just business. I had no intention of showing disrespect. But that's what it is. If this is business, indeed, just to say, then you certainly do not like a shrewd businessman. In fact, I'm surprised that you are still alive. As the prince neared the end of his sentence, his blade neared the neck of the merchant. This scene lasted only a few seconds, but to those people, they felt like minutes, or hours even. The merchant thought he was done for, but luck, usually not taking any part in these occasions, sided with him. Stop, or I'll have to call the guards! A waiter came to the two, just at the right time. His intervention effectively diffused the tense situation. Do not meddle in other people's business, boy. The sword very close to the merchant's neck started shaking as a host of bad thoughts and doubts was filling the mind of the prince. Damn, why did he have to intervene now? This satisfaction could cost me my freedom. I cannot make any mistakes. Please, you're right. Let's put it this way. I'm convinced. I will give you those 50 gold coins. Nope. This affront is too great. 50 coins are not nearly enough. I demand double that in compensation. Double? Please be reasonable. It is you who has to waive your next words, well, my dear merchant. Leaving this last phrase hanging as a thread, the prince grasped his hilt strongly as he drove the sword into the table. His motion was so quick and sudden that everyone in the room jolted. The waiter pushed aside the crowd behind him and left the room without saying anything else. Item unlocked. Broken sword. And money. Okay. Damn, he certainly went to fetch the guards. This is not a good thing at all. I do not want to be seen in this predicament, and my prestige would suffer. Moreover, these papers are not completely lawful. Itching to see this dangerous situation solved, the merchant threw the coins on the table as quick as he could. Then he hastily gathered his papers and said his goodbye. I believe it is time for me to go, he said, disappearing from sight. Finally, I had the better of him. He was satisfied with himself. He smiled and begged the money. The merchant had fled so fast that he forgot to close the door. Such a nice sight for the prince, who could finally boast a victory against his rival. The people I'm forced to deal with these days. He even threatened me with a sword for a few coins. The merchant was gone. However, the prince needed more than a little while before he could calm down and find some composure. Many people had seen that scene, and even if it looked like the show was over, they still were there, muttering among themselves. Even if this situation almost slipped out of my control, I could turn the tide in my favor. It was really unbelievable that I suffered no consequences. Yet, probably. He thought, completely distracted from the world around him, his eyes closed. Did you see what he did? Deplorable. Starting such a ruckus, so shameful. The noise in the room only grew. It was impossible for such a proud nobleman to ignore the depreciating words that were being openly said at that point. Yeah. Unfortunately, these noblemen had too much pride, and a lot of times, well, never mind. They regard me as nothing more than criminal. Do you think I should alert the guards? Yeah, I saw. It'd be so embarrassed right now if I should rules. Okay, do you think we should leave? A prince behaving like that? I've heard his family's in shambles. What a dangerous juvenile behavior. Huh. Knowing that causing another scene would have certainly brought problems with the guards, the prince with an inhuman effort managed to ignore the affront. He sheathed his sword and left the inn without saying a single word. What do these plebeians know about what I'm worth? Let them talk. It's no use wasting time with such people. Well, let's face it. They probably know how to live, and I think you don't really. Because, well, you basically had a lot of money and you wasted all of that, so that's a problem. It was still his pride speaking, whereas in that moment a common person would certainly have had different feelings. It is possible that nobility alone could change a person so much. Maybe I did cross the line there, he said to himself, fiddling with the bag of gold he had just obtained. I certainly do not care about the opinion of the common folk, however, that merchant. He said he was being generous. Is it the truth? Maybe I should ask him for more details. He was talking to himself, trying to find excuses for resuming to go after the man he just threatened to kill. Such twisted minds, these noblemen, especially when they bring themselves to make apologies. He left the inn not long ago. It shouldn't be too hard to track him down. His slow walk quickly turned into a run. As expected, it was really easy to find the merchant, who was walking along the way himself, fully immersed in his thoughts. He had almost reached the doorstep of his favorite inn. Clearly, he needed a moment of respite after that long and hazardous morning. Relieved of having escaped danger, it was a blow to him, having to face reality again. I found you! I forgot to ask you for some important details! Stop! Damn it, him again. At this point, he had reached Elisa's inn. Should he run inside and bar the door? Not a good idea, although in some way he really wanted to right now. Look, I really care about the owner of this inn. I really do not want to get into another argument here. What do you want? I know this inn, and the innkeeper too. Let's go inside. I'll explain everything once we find a place to sit. Here we go again. The merchant, without replying, walked to the prince, with a smirk on his face. Alright, as you wish. This time I need not worry. I have the certainty that in here you will never make a rash gesture like you did this morning. You'd never make a fool of yourself in front of the innkeeper. The prince felt cornered hearing those words. As usual, he let his instincts act in his stead, defiantly facing the merchant. He had already forgotten every intention of apologizing, of course. You think you've got everything covered, don't you? Naturally. He answered, entering the inn, followed by the prince. I'm a long-time customer of this inn. Everyone knows how much I care about Elisa. You need to not worry, I will not make a fool of myself, in here at least. I'm confident that I will be treated with the respect I command. You should always remember that there is a very clear difference between the two of us. in this inn, my money is worth just as much as yours. If Elisa had to make a distinction between her patrons, she would do very well to separate me from you. Oh, for what reason? I'm a prince. And I'm a merchant from Venice. Yeah, well done, with a castle you bought. I bought the castle exactly the same time you sold yours. That's enough. I know who I am and I demand respect. Who's disrespecting you? You started this argument. I come to this inn because I'm in love with the owner. Everyone knows this and everyone must respect the fact that I'm interested in her. This is golden. So you want to stop me from loving Elisa? Oh. For what reason do you believe that I'm here in Florence? The prince was struck by this question. He actually thought that the sale of his castle was the only reason for the presence of the merchant in Florence. Apparently, he was wrong. Oh, great, but rest assured that you will achieve nothing at all. Oh, and if I don't, what chance do you have? Again, you can't. Everyone knows Elisa needs my protection. Elisa needs money, surely not protection. Money, I have plenty. I spend 1 gold coin per day, my dear prince, and I regularly make her gifts. I certainly do not flaunt what I do for her. You do not say what you do, but everyone knows. As for the merchant, with sarcasm, the prince had a hard time reasoning under pressure. It was well known. His irritational demeanor had repeatedly been the cause of unpleasant situations. Not everything is known. Of course it is. The waiters speak about it. 3 silver coins per day. Speaking about the waiters, I know one in particular. I don't like him. Seems like the innkeeper holds him in high regard. Too much so, in fact. It's possible she wants to marry him. It wouldn't be a bad thing. It's hard for a young woman to keep an inn all alone. As far as I'm concerned, if they marry, I will give her 300 gold coins. If she marries, I will be her protector, and I will do. Only I know what I will do. Come on, let's make her a gift, as good friends. Let us give her 300 gold coins each. What do? I do secretly. I know who I am, and I don't flaunt it. He doesn't do anything, that's for sure. Such a fool, poor yet proud. They had been arguing for a few minutes already in front of the inn's entrance, so focused on prevailing on each other that neither of them saw the waiter near them. Excuse me, my lord? Finally the waiter is here. I'm at your service, sir. Only, sir. Who taught you your manners? Please forgive me. Tell me, how is the dear innkeeper? She's well, my lord. You dance what with this lord? Is that only used for that other guest too? There is a huge difference between us. I can tell from tips. He thought, trying to conceal a smirk. Tell the innkeeper I wish to speak with her. She should come to me now. Yes, His Highness. Is this title of your king? Yeah, it is good. You had known for 3 months already. You are so impolite. Do you want to see the difference between me and the prince here? Here, have this. I give you a gold coin. Try and get one from him as well. It was a perfect occasion for our rich merchant, who finally managed to show off what he could do best. Spend money. Without a blink, he took out of his bag the equivalent to a month's wage for the waiter, and he gifted it nonchalantly. Thank you, my lord, he replied, moved by the unexpected gesture. What about you? What about you, Highness? I don't throw away my money like a fool. Be gone. You think you will defeat me with your gifts, but you will accomplish nothing. My title is worth more than all of your coins. You can spend as much as you like. Elisa does not care about you. With all your nobility, you think she has any admiration for you? What you need is money. Prestige and protection are more important. It is vital to command respect. When money abounds, everyone has respect for you. You don't know what you're talking about. Friends, what is this noise? Are you arguing? How did it come to this dispute? All of a sudden, it was possible to see any figure at all. Strong man with dark hair and proud aspect. Most likely a new customer who, once done sorting out his luggage, did not hesitate to step forward with a great confidence. It's simply ready. At this point, I think it is easy to deduce that the persistence of this prince is due to the fact that he is in love with the Innkeeper. I love her even more. Therefore, I insisted so that I would be served swiftly, so that I could offer my greetings first. In truth, there is no more futile reason for a dispute. A woman bothers him. A woman! What must I hear? In my case, there is nothing to worry about. I have never loved women, I never held them in any esteem, and I always found them utterly impossible to stand. What the heck is wrong with you? Women are amazing beings. But look, the owner of this is an inquisitive person. Not little. If I love her, you can be sure that there is a greatness in her. Truly, you make me laugh. What greatness might she have, which is not peculiarity of all other women? She holds noble demeanor. It is enthralling. She is beautiful, has good wits, and great taste in clothing. All of these things are worth nothing at all. I have stayed at the inn for 3 days, and the impression she made to me was nothing good. What? Pay attention to her, spend some time with her, you will surely notice something good. Okay. Merchant, what the fuck is wrong with you actually? Do you really want him to fall for her? He'll basically slice you with his sword. And end of story. You fools, it's just a facade. You believe her, huh? I'd never fall for that. Away with those, all of them. They moved mountains to find me a wife, but they never wanted one. This Innkeeper, Elisa. I'll leave her to you, even if she was more beautiful than Aphrodite. Well, she's kind of beautiful. I bow to your lordships. The argument was suddenly interrupted by the girl. She wasn't used to personally greet all the customers of her inn, however she couldn't help but hear the knight's words, and those were finally enough reason to step in. She was clean and smelled good. The mere sight of her was enough to hypnotize the prince and the merchant. Here you are, dear Elisa. I was just looking for you. I have some inquiries not here for. Where do you want me, Highness? Wow. In my room. Wow. In your room. But if you need something, the waiter will serve you. My dear Elisa, I will just speak publicly. Instead, speak publicly. I will not disturb you by making you come into my room. Ooh, exploiting the situation, the merchant took out of his pocket 2 earrings, clearly of immense value, and ceremoniously offered them to the innkeeper, so that everyone could see and envy this gesture. Please look at these earrings. Do you like them? Diamonds, you know. Oh yeah, I recognize them. I know about jewelry. They are yours, if you accept them. My friend, you are throwing that away. Yeah, sorry, my friend, you are throwing that away. Quickly replied the knight, the receive. He looked confused but amused at the same time. These are quite trendy lately. Please accept them in the name of my love. What a madman. No, I'm sorry, sir. I will take offense if you don't. I don't know what to say. I mean to be friendly, but with all patterns mine, in order to not offend the merchant, sir, I will take them. Real smart. In truth, dear merchant, you just want to look good. Such public gifts simply for vanity. Dear Elsa, I have to speak to you in private. Just you and me. I'm a prince. Okay, stop talking, we are a prince. You don't deserve her because of that as well. The merchant is also kind of piece of crap. I'm pretty sure the knight actually is in love, but is acting all... You know, no, of course no. I don't know anything about love and so on. Okay. Reversed harem, basically. Okay, still dumbfounded by the crazy gift, Elisa stayed speechless for a while, just staring at the earrings she was still holding. But he's holding this in the picture. Okay. Surely she had no intention of pleasing the Princess Whimsy this time. He was compelled to go to her room and try on that precious jewelry. I'm sorry, I cannot really right now. If none of you has any further work for me, I will excuse myself. Hey Keeper, the sheets you gave me are not of my liking. If there isn't anything better, I will have to procure them myself. Sir, you will be provided better sheets. However, you should be more respectful of your requests. I do not have to compliment people I pay to work for me. The knight's tone of voice was so loud that it snapped the two lovers back to reality. Forgive him, he's a mortal enemy of woman. Poor woman, what did they do to him? Why is he so bad with them? That's enough. No need to get further. Change my sheets. It is fine if I wait there. Friends, I say goodbye to you. Okay. The knight's disdain for the others was evident as he walked away. What a rude, nasty person. He was not very courteous at all. Dear Elisa, not everyone acknowledges your merits. If you want to send him away, you just have to say the word, and I will have him immediately removed. Yeah, right. You will be sliced with a freaking sword. That's what. And you will be removed. That. And I'll be happy to pay all his outstanding payments with the inn. Thank you both, I appreciate it. Actually, I have to excuse myself as well. I have to see a jeweler to find a necklace to combine with the earrings. Don't, Mr. Merchant! You deserve a lot, and I have no objections to spending money. I will see this jeweler. The merchant ended his sentence and left the inn. I'm pretty sure she's not pleased with what he said. Curse him, he'll kill me with his gifts. In truth, the merchant does too much. These people have some money and they squander it without a thought. Like you are the one to talk. They are convinced that beautiful women like you let themselves be had with mere gifts. Well, I certainly don't mind the gifts. I would never give you the displeasure of forcing you to accept such a gift. Certainly, you never gave me this kind of displeasure. Just as certainly, I never will. I would almost renounce my nobility to be in the same shoes as that merchant. So, loaded then. Oh, why? Do you envy his wealth? Huh? No, what wealth? What? For you? I do so much more. What would you do? In front of God, I would marry you. Eh? What did he just say? His Highness, the Stingy Prince, would marry me. Eh? Nevertheless, if he really wanted to wed me, there would be problems. I would not want him. I like actions. I don't know what to do with all the talk he does. If I married all those who showed interest, now I would have countless husbands. All men who stay at the sin, fall in love with me, intimately try to flirt with me. This nightfall, so rude, so brash. Is he an enemy of all women? Poor soul, he never found a good one. But he'll find her. He will find her. What if he just found her? I wouldn't mind the challenge. I tire of all those lasting after me. Nobility is not for me either. I would really enjoy trying to make this night fall for me. Conquer this heart, who so proclaims his enmity of woman. We women. We who are the most beautiful thing Mother Nature ever created. Our prequel introduces just the 20% of our final game. Okay, we hope we'll be able to complete our story, and I freaking looked away for a second and did not manage to read this. Thanks for playing. This is a place represented just in the part. Thanks for supporting. That was pretty interesting, to be honest. Pier Mazza, Stefano Campanella, Steve Casalgrandi, Adrian von Ziegler. Sorry if I pronounced the names not in a correct way. Ria Rachel CD Mart, okay. Ia Martina Alberto Domenico. Societe Pinterac. Vinicius Marquez, Neoclassic Games, Filia, Krona. Okay, beta tester. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, the reason actually I do not manage to read this is because I set up the transitions for the text too fast. Tirana Builder. The making of this game supported over 20 jobs and involved more than 800 work hours. Nice. The end. For now. And you know what? I'm looking forward to the actual game. This was pretty good. And I really like the art in it. Oh, so basically you can unlock this by going the other roads, so making other choices. She's cute, she really is cute. Alright, so basically that would be it for the channel for now. I think I will play the other endings actually tomorrow by myself, just to unlock all the gallery, or the art in the gallery, and see if there will be much difference when it comes to choices. And yeah, well, really looking forward to the actual game. I need to actually have a look at the Kickstarter of this game, because I think it is going on right now as well. So if it is still going on, I will probably, I will put them in the cards, I think. Yeah, I think in cards you can actually put crowdfunding and so on, so Kickstarter should be possible to put there. If it's not in the cards, check the description. Well, I will not put the link if the Kickstarter actually ended already. I'm not sure about it. Alright. Quite enjoyable story, and let's end it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to support the game actually. If it's not yet actually funded, and yeah. See you in the next game. Or see you in the continuation of this one, if it will be, when it will be released. Alright, see you then, bye bye.